And now for something completely different.
What's going on, YouTube? Well, you see, I have an amazing special guest with me today. This is Melissa Bonny. She's the lead vocalist from Ad Infinitum. Or do you say it Ad Infinitum? I've heard it both ways.
Yeah, I say personally, I say ad infinitum, but
It rolls better.
Whatever you
for me.
wish.
I don't know. That's how my channel rolls. We learn our Latin on here. But so anyways, the reason that I have Melissa on is I recently learned that Ad Infinitum is actually a historically themed band. And hello, so I have some signature bands on my channel like Sabaton and even like Brothers of Metal and things like that. And when I found out about you, and I've heard your name before, and but I never really delved deep. And once I did, I just binged like crazy. I did my first reaction to Marching on Versailles because that just sounded super exciting. And then I haven't checked out Unstoppable yet. So that'll be hopefully soon before the album drops. So if I don't scare you off, that is. So
no problem. I'm just a little bit nervous now because I know that you know a lot about history. So I'm waiting for the questions. I'm like, oh, am I ready for the test?
I'm sure you've already gone through the fire with that a little bit, which is a question I have later because I get it too. Everybody's like, oh, you're not a big bad history buff like you, but you got this wrong and that, so I was going to ask you about that actually. So but anyways, let's start with the easy stuff because we're definitely going to geek out about history. So don't you worry. But
sure.
So actually I was asking about touring, but you said that was canceled, unfortunately. And I was going to ask how the tour is going, during COVID and all that. And I just can't imagine how devastating it is to musicians, everything that's happening. But
yeah, I mean, we kind of expected it now, since the first cancellation, we've never been 100% sure that anything would happen. We've always been, okay, let's see,
Right, man. So anyways, going back to you've done tons of projects. I mean, I even noticed you did something with Fierschwanz a little bit ago, and they're actually in this medieval metal battle thing that I'm doing. So I think I'm definitely going to check that one out then. So just to tie it together, which I see that's been really well received. But like, what are some other projects you've done? Like where did you start in music? Kind of, how did that path look?
Well, I joined my first metal band in 2012, and it was called Even More, and it's folk metal band-ish with some symphonic touches. It was a little bit of a mix, and I stayed in the band for a few years. Then I joined Radio Flight, and finally I created Ad Infinitum in 2018, and I've been joined by my bandmates, and it's been a beautiful journey so far.
That's great. And from some of the interviews that I checked out, it sounds like you're kind of like the creative linchpin in Ad Infinitum. Maybe your other projects, you're a vocalist, obviously, and you were given some freedom of writing and things like that. But Ad Infinitum, that's like your baby, right?
Yeah. I wanted to create something from the very beginning and to give it to the direction I really wanted. Also something that really fits my voice and fits the way I like to sing. And when you join other projects, you have to compromise, obviously, because there's the visions of other people. And for this band, I really wanted to create the vision and then find people who would be happy with this. And of course, now it evolved a bit because it's not only my baby anymore, but it's also the baby of the my three bandmates. But it's something that fits all of us, and that has now, especially now with the second album, the signature of each and every one of us.
That's great. And I gotta say too, so when I saw the video and a lot of the pictures too, the promo pictures, they have the masks on. So how much of that was like a stylistic choice, but how much of it was like a masked singer, you don't know who these people are, kind of creating that mystery? Was that part of it, or?
No, actually, we really wanted people to know who the other guys were, because we don't want to be a band where everyone knows only the singer, you know.
Right.
That's why we made it pretty clear right away, you know, the names and the faces, and we took some promo pictures as well without the masks, and we wanted to make sure that um, people would also be familiar with the guys and not just me. And it was just artistic vision. Like, we wanted to have something special that people would say, oh, this is Ad Infinitum, I recognize their appearance.
Yeah. I thought that for a moment there was some mystery to it where you weren't really saying who they were going to be, and there was this kind of excitement. Oh,
No.
I think it was an old
But
interview.
I think, yeah, I think it was, we wanted to intrigue people, but we didn't want to keep it secret.
I was just saying that's kind of a brilliant tag. It just is, you know, because who are the band members going to be? And you were all kind of like cheeky about like, ooh, you're going to let, you know, so that's pretty choices there.
Thank you.
So, okay. So is this whole thing going to be historically themed? I mean, I know there's chapter 1, which covers some period of French history, including the revolution a little bit. And then, but it's just going to keep going history.
The thing is, chapter 2 is as well like this, but we don't want to put the band in a box. So we will see what we do in the future. So far, we enjoy having a historical inspiration. I always say that we don't want it to be like a historical lesson, you know, like a history lesson, sorry. We've done 2 albums so far, but we choose a character of inspiration and we dive into the world of that person and into also the environment, and not only storytelling of what happened in his or her life, but also how it the influence and the legacy, if I may say, because it's the title of the album, the legacy that person left for the world. And for this album, and don't be scared, but we chose Vlad the Impaler, aka Vlad Tepes, aka Dracula.
Why not?
And but we just thought he's such a fascinating character because, you know, for some people he was Vlad the Impaler, the tyrant, the scary person, the murderer, but for some other people he was obviously a hero who saved a lot of lives and territory and everything we know about history. And so, you know, depending on which side of history you were, he was the good guy or the bad guy. And then he created a myth that still lives on today, which is he was the father of all vampires. So without there's so much interesting stuff to say about this one guy and his environment and life, that this is a brilliant source of inspiration for an album.
That sounds amazing. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. So speaking of that, so one of my questions was about not only, I love that you do this, not only do you focus on the viewpoint of the character, but everybody around them, right? So like the peasantry and, I think I lost your camera. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Sorry,
You're going to lose mine in a second too, because mine times out every 30 minutes.
Oh, shit.
We must have the same camera. But yeah, so like, you know, like in Infected Monarchy, it's from the viewpoint of the peasantry around them. You know, it's not just that. And I want to say like certainly before World War I, but like before, like in before the 1900s, everything did focus on these noble and the elites, and literature and art was made and created for them to enjoy, not so much everybody else is busy in the fields, you know. But after World War I, this postmodern movement where it's like from the viewpoint now of the people, and it's amazing that you did that.
Oh, thank you. Well, I thought that was also more interesting to explore a little bit this side of history and not just make it like an epic tale about the exploits of the exploits. You say this? I don't know, the wins, the big wins in history of one character, but also like how it felt. I feel like it's also very moving to explore the other side of the story and the people who were actually not very happy about what happened. And also, you know, I feel like we can, like as listeners, relate a little bit more to the other side of the story, depending on who we're talking about.
Right. Have you ever heard of the painting? And when I was listening to music, I was thinking about this, the painting by Peter Brugger. It's called Fall of Icarus. Have you ever heard of that?
It's called what? Sorry?
The Fall of Icarus.
I heard full of licorice. I was like, what are you
Oh, yeah, bowl of
talking
licorice. Absolutely. Here,
No,
let me.
I haven't.
So I'm going to share my screen with you really quick. I just want to let me see here. Don't worry, don't mind my notes. But this is, can you see this okay? I
Yes,
feel like I'm
yeah,
in a
sure.
Zoom meeting at work. Am I on mute? Can you see
Oh,
this?
I like it.
But I don't know how
Yeah.
well you can but if you notice, you look at it, this is called the Fall of Icarus, right?
Mhm.
Do you see Icarus anywhere on here?
No, actually.
If you look at
Wait. I'm targeting the sun with my eyes, and I'm trying to find around, but no, I don't
so
know.
just under the boat in the water, you could see legs sticking out of the
Oh,
water.
yes.
So this
Yeah.
is such a powerful painting because what this shows is, like this is what 99% of life was like. Nobody gave a shit about Icarus. Nobody cares
Yeah.
about who their rulers are or who all these elite stories are that they keep listening to. This guy's looking at his plow. This one over here is they don't care, So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
again, when I
Wow.
heard like not only your music but some of your explanations about it, it's like, people were more concerned about feeding their families and about, their crops and things like that. And then I got a few others. So like when we think of the Fall of Icarus, these are like the paintings we're used to seeing, right? Like front and
Mhm.
center. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought I'd share that with you just because it's like my favorite painting. And I think it's so powerful. And it just shows kind
Wow.
of like that, we got to stop, I don't want to say we got to stop because I enjoy like romantic literature where that stuff is like
Mm.
front and center. It's really cool. But that's not 99% of the people,
Exactly.
especially
Yeah.
back then. Yeah.
I had never seen that painting, but it's brilliant.
Yeah. It's from 1555. So definitely before its time, kind of on the beginning of the Enlightenment and all that. So
Mm-mm.
cool. Okay. So why did you start with monarchy? Chapter 1, like that was the character you wanted to check out, and that's
I think I was fascinated by this character. I think I had seen a bit a while before starting the writing of the of both the album and the lyrics. I think I had seen some documentaries and series about Louis XIV, and I think it's just what my mind was into at that moment. I was like so fascinated that I thought it was a good source of inspiration. Also because having grown up in the French speaking part of Switzerland, obviously I learned about French history, so that was something I was familiar with. And
okay.
And I just love this universe. It's just when I pictured, I remember picturing the videos, which never happened, but I was like, oh yeah, we should do this thing with the ballroom and people dancing in costumes, and
Give
this
you a big
big
white wig to
feast.
wear. Yeah.
Exactly. And no, please no, don't.
No.
And I just had this whole universe in my mind while writing the lyrics, and yeah, this is just what orientated my thoughts, I guess. It's very much about, there's so much to say about history, so I usually go for something that I feel passionate about, or that really intrigues me, or that I feel like there's a lot to say about.
Yeah, speaking of the lyrics, there's some incredible lyrics.
Thank you.
Just you're the fool inside my head, but I wear the crown. You're the demon under my bed, but you better hide. Just there's so many. I wanted to go and pull out so many different cool things that I saw. Marching on Versailles, I'm very familiar with because I've over and over I've listened to it a bunch. So I just wanted to talk just about a few kind of like cool songwriting choices that you made. So again, we're picturing people marching. You're right.
Yeah.
And I know a little bit more about the American Revolution and like the thought that, okay, we're going to do this, but if it fails, we're screwed. Like, so there's always a sense of like hesitancy, like, do I take that leap or not? And it's like, you could feel that in the way you wrote it, because like the first verse, there's really no drum riff behind it. It's kind of minimalistic and pulled back. This was your final chance, a chance you didn't take, like the lightning. But by the time you get the second verse, there's like a halftime drum riff. And it just, to me, it sounds like, okay, now we have more confidence than we did before, you know? And then even like on that pre-chorus, it sounds like it's this big major chord note that's hit. And it's like this burst of like hope. Or whatever. I don't know. But it was all that. I mean, I'm sure it's intentional,
you mean
of course, but I could sing it for you.
Yeah, you can sing it.
No.
Go ahead.
It was like but that burst, it was just like sunshine and really cool songwriting choices.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, if we only talk about lyrics just for a second, I always try to go with the guts and to make metaphors or to image what I have in my mind. And yeah, not to, like I said earlier, not to just state facts, but also to leave space for interpretation, just to give the possibility to people to use their brain a little bit, not to just get everything in the first time they listen to it.
Exactly. Yeah. And going along those lines, go ahead. Where
no, I was just saying that
you go.
No, I was just saying that then we try to fit with the melodies as well to make it that the emotion of the melodies fits the lyrics.
Absolutely. No, I see it. And perfect segue. So when do you decide to use the growls? Because that, I wasn't expecting that. And I'm sure you get that a lot when you watch reactors, you're hearing this beautiful, clean voice, and all of a sudden, and I was thinking with the chorus, that's one of the guys behind the mask doing but that's you. How do you know when to put those in? Or is it just kind of like, well, I'm going to put them in every song and it's about time to do it? But I think you have more of a goal than that.
I don't do it in every song. I just, I don't have a scientific answer for this. It's just when it feels right. Depending on how the music is going, depending on the words, the lyrics. There's just some parts where, for example, we're working on a demo and then the guys decide to write a breakdown, and I'm like, okay, this just appeals growls.
This needs a growl.
And yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just I decide with my guts when it's needed or necessary or optional, or when it should be in the backing vocals to give it a little bit more power to the clean vocals. So it really depends on what we're doing, what kind of song, what kind of lyrics, and what kind of emotion we want to transmit.
That's cool. And with some of your historical themes, I'm sure there's always just there's a hint of rage going on. Again, like with the people in France, a little bit of rage. Yeah. So you need a growl in there.
Yeah, exactly.
One final question, because I know we only got 30 minutes, but so I promised I'd ask this. So, like, again, it's super bold to pick an event in history, especially one that's super studied, right? I mean, even people who aren't historians or whatever, or professors, they'll study the hell out of World War II and the French Revolution and all that, just as a hobby. So did you catch any criticism after you, it's already been a year now since you dropped?
Yeah, it's been a year and a half. No, I haven't seen any. I've seen some misinterpretation. Like some people thought it was all about the French Revolution, and I've also had this in interviews, but I haven't seen any people saying, "Oh, you're wrong about this and that." I've been a little bit scared of this, to be honest, because I'm not a historian, and I like you said, it's just a hobby. It's not something I've learned, of course, at school about history, and especially about French Revolution, and also about Switzerland. There's not a lot of famous events about Switzerland, so yeah. Excellent. But yeah, it's just a hobby, and it's just also sometimes just for the purpose of the lyrics. Like, for example, we talked about Vlad the Impaler. I knew what, let's say, everyone knows about him, and I had to really dig into documentaries and readings and everything to learn about his life. And it's not like I captured every single step of his life. So I really had to watch again and learn again and keep in mind and then write the lyrics. And still, I'm afraid that someone who knows the topic better than me will say, no, you're wrong about this. Or what are you talking about?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, you know what? At the end of the day, it's just music. It's my interpretation. And I just want to make something that people enjoy. And if I'm wrong, then I'm terribly sorry.
I'm not saying no, it's amazing. It really is. But part of me though, there's this, when I got my degree in history, that there's a professor who like the French Revolution is his thing and music. So he ties together French music. It's really cool. And I thought about doing like a dual reaction to March on Versailles. And then a little
oh my God,
bug in my head was like, because some people, well, technically I'll be like, okay, kill it, you know, like, but no, it's always a gamble when you do it, but you did an amazing job. So if you've gone this far with some of those nasty historians out there, skewering it, you're fine. You've passed the test. So
good.
Awesome. Well, I think we're right at the 30-minute mark. I mean, I was just going to keep going until you just shut your camera off, but either way.
No, it's a pleasure to talk to you. So
yes, thank you so much for joining me though. Taking time out of your Thursday. And if you guys
be here,
haven't checked out Ad Infinitum or Ad Infinitum, however you want to say it, you need to, especially if you enjoy history, if you enjoy amazing metal, just really cool, full of surprises, and I can't wait for the next album. So thank you for your time.
Well, thank you for inviting me. It was a pleasure.
All right. Well, hopefully we'll see you soon.
Hopefully, yes.
All right. Okay. Bye now.
Bye.